Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to Eyes on Tools.
Lately, I keep hearing about Accio Work.
So I figured why not check it out? So today we'll see what it can actually do and whether it's worth the attention that it's getting. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and tell me in the comments which AI tools should be next on the list.
Most sourcing delays do not start when you are looking for a product. They start after you find one. You message a supplier, then realize you forgot to ask about the minimum order quantity, packaging, logo printing, sample cost, lead time, shipping, or which sizes and colors are actually available. Then you repeat the same conversation with 5 more suppliers, wait for replies, chase follow-ups, and end up with a messy spreadsheet that still does not tell you who is the best choice. Today on Aizen Tools, I am testing Accio Work and its Accio Sourcing Toolkit by Alibaba.com. For this test, I am sourcing a small women's fitness apparel collection for the UK market. I need activewear with custom logo options, breathable fabric, multiple sizes, branded packaging, a reasonable minimum order quantity, and a supplier who can provide clear production and shipping information. The goal is not just to find the cheapest listing, the goal is to find a supplier that actually fits the full business requirement. Inside Accio Work, I open the plugins section and install the Accio Sourcing Expert plugin. After connecting it to my Alibaba.com account, I can use the sourcing workflow directly from the Accio Work workspace. Now I send my first request. I ask for suppliers that can produce women's fitness clothing for the UK market, support custom branding, offer flexible minimum order quantities, and provide reliable delivery information. I also include the type of products I need, the estimated quantity, the preferred fabric, and the fact that I want samples before moving forward. Instead of opening dozens of listings manually, the sourcing toolkit starts bringing back supplier options in one place. I can see the supplier details, product options, store ratings, reorder information, minimum order quantities, and price ranges. This gives me a much faster starting point than searching product by product and trying to remember which supplier said what. At this stage, I do not select every supplier. I shortlist the ones that look closest to the requirements. For example, one supplier might have a lower unit price but a high minimum order quantity. Another might offer more flexible logo customization. A third might have better product options for the exact style I want to launch. Once I have my shortlist, this is where the workflow becomes much more useful. I select the suppliers I want to contact and ask Accio Work to start the auto inquiry and negotiation process. My request is clear. Ask each supplier for their best quotation based on my projected order quantity, confirm the minimum order quantity for custom branding, ask about the sample cost, available colors, packaging options, production lead time, shipping estimate, and whether the supplier can send product images or a catalog for review. Normally, this is the part where sourcing becomes repetitive. You copy the same message into multiple chats, try to remember which supplier answered which question, then return hours later to send another follow-up because someone has not replied yet. Here, Accio Work helps handle the ongoing conversation while keeping the requirements consistent across the suppliers I selected. You can see the agent asking follow-up questions, clarifying the specifications, and continuing the negotiation based on the details I gave it. One supplier may offer a lower price but need a larger first order. Another may be more flexible with samples and branded packaging. Another may have better delivery timing but a higher shipping cost. The important part is that the sourcing conversation is not only about asking for a discount. A good sourcing decision depends on the full deal. Product quality, customization, sample availability, minimum order quantity, production time, shipping, and communication all matter. As the conversations develop, the toolkit helps build a tailored supplier comparison. Instead of trying to compare scattered messages and screenshots, I can review the key points side by side. I can see which supplier fits the quantity, which one has the strongest customization options, which one has the better lead time, and which option makes the most sense for the launch. That does not mean I automatically choose the lowest quote. A supplier with a slightly higher price might still be the better choice if they offer clearer communication, better product options, more reliable delivery terms, or lower risk for a first order. And that is where I think this workflow makes sense for small business owners, e-commerce sellers, and founders. You still make the final decision. You still review the product, confirm the supplier, check the terms, and decide whether to place an order. But Accio Work can reduce a lot of the manual effort between having a product idea and reaching a supplier decision that is actually supported by information. There is also a more advanced supersourcing workflow for cases where you want the system to help move from a product idea through supplier discovery, vetting, and negotiation in one connected process. For me, the biggest value is not only finding suppliers faster, it is removing the copy-paste grind. Instead of spending your time opening dozens of tabs, rewriting the same inquiry, chasing replies, and trying to compare supplier conversations manually, you can focus more on the business decision itself. You can define what you need, review the supplier options, let the sourcing workflow handle the repeated communication, and come back to a clearer comparison before moving forward. If you are building an e-commerce business, launching a private label product, or looking for a more organized way to source through Alibaba.com, download Accio Work for desktop through the link in the description and unlock the Accio Sourcing Toolkit. Let me know in the comments what product you would source first: fitness apparel, home products, accessories, electronics, or something completely different.